test, test. Hello, everyone. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me just fine. Let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you are super excited about today's training and presentation that we have going on from my friend Igor, type a 1 in the chat. We are going to learn all about e-farming, okay? And before we jump into it, I'm just going to give a couple of, things, background information, some exciting things to get you primed and ready for this training. But first, let me know in the chat where everyone is tuning in from, what city, what state. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. It's super exciting to see everybody join from not only the US, Canada, but all across the world. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I hope everyone's having an incredible week. So let's go ahead and just give an overview and background of what you're about to learn today. So did you know that a US farmer on average makes $80,000 per year, but working a whole lot, like 80 hours a week during harvest season, that is. And so while an average e-farmer, on the other hand, makes multiple 6 figures and could even make 7 figures with just working 5 hours a week with a laptop and internet connection. Okay, so if you're anything like most people, you're like, what the heck is e-farming? I have no idea what that is. All right, just know it's doable with people from all different types of backgrounds, ethnicities, education levels, and everyone's secretly making a ton of money and retiring early with e-farming. And in fact, during this pandemic, or the pandemic that's now over, right? Did you guys hear that? How the World Health Organization just announced no more pandemic. But during the pandemic alone, e-farming made tons of millionaires, and people got onto this trend. And within the next 60 minutes, you're going to understand exactly how it works. And today, you're going to learn from the world's #1 e-farmer, my friend Igor. Now, Igor stumbled upon e-farming some time ago, but has since made millions of dollars, multi-millions of dollars, doing this from his laptop in just a couple of hours a week, and has been able to semi-retire at the age of 31. Now, recently, the good news for you and I is that he has decided to come out of retirement and help people make tons of money leveraging this e-farming method. And he has already helped thousands and thousands of people start this e-farming online business from scratch. Igor definitely has this system down to a science, and in this training, you are going to learn about his 3-step system. And I'm absolutely thrilled for you to learn way more about his approach within the next 60 minutes. Now, without further ado, Igor, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Yes, this is Igor. Thank you so much. I am so pumped up to share with you how I, an ex-retail slave, ex-security guard, ex-busboy in Burger King, I've done every starter job out there. So how I went from a slave, from just a red race runner, to making $403,919 a year from home with something called e-farming, which I'll explain to you in just a few moments, and how I did it without drop shipping crap from China, chasing clients, or hustling on social media. In other words, how I did it without any of the typical stuff you're being told you need to be doing if you want to be making money online. In fact, e-farming is something that I think most people are simply not aware of. It's something that escapes most people. They don't see it. However, it's one of the most proven ways you can get going online and start making big money. And I don't care if you don't have any previous experience. I don't care if you don't have any advantages. I don't care if you don't have like a ton of money. I don't really care if you've never touched a computer before, because e-farming is really easy if you follow the right system, which again, I'll share with you on this training. So my purpose on this training, on this webinar, is to share with you how an average person, just like you, just like me, how average people are retiring early with e-farming without having to go get an office, without commuting anywhere, without going back to school or getting licensed, without harassing friends and family, without taking on big financial risks, or without doing anything sleazy or shady or anything black hat. I'll share with you the same thing I taught Bill here, for example, who went to making $3,000 a month in just 90 days and is super close now to making $6,000 per month with e-farming. I'll share with you the exact same system I shared with Anthony, who's now made $40,000 over and above this month over his job income. And as he says, the amazing part is he's still able to attend every rugby practice session for both of his sons, which are on the way to become professional rugby players in Wales. UK. Now, look, both Forbes and the Wall Street Journal are talking about e-farming, but a lot of people are simply not aware. And both Forbes and the Wall Street Journal are saying that e-farming is now way more profitable than social media. So if you thought social media was a big phenomenon, I mean, wait till you hear about e-farming. And even Hollywood celebrities are turning to e-farming as we speak to make money. Yes, even people like The Rock, Rihanna, the Obamas, Hugh Jackman, Ellen DeGeneres, Justin Timberlake, Lady Gaga. I mean, you name it. They're all doing e-farming, and they're not necessarily shouting about it from the top of their lungs or anything like that, but they are making money with it. And I'll share it to you, and I'll prove it to you how even Oprah is using e-farming as we speak. Yeah, I know it's a big claim, I know, but even Oprah is doing it. So what I want to do on this training is I want to show you a shortcut. I not only want to show you what the heck e-farming is, but I want to show you a shortcut, a secret pathway, if you will, to allow you to to break into e-farming really fast and succeed with e-farming and make money with e-farming just in the next 30 days and just 30 minutes per day. Okay? So you can start making 100, 300, and even $998.50 per day with your own online business. Okay, and so you can do it while traveling the world, going to concerts, living life according to your own standards, according to your own dreams, according to your own desires and wishes. Because let's face it, the only reason to walk away from a job and to become an entrepreneur and to be your own boss is only to be free. It's freedom. It's not the money. Yes, money is required for this, but the purpose is not to just make a lot of money. It's also to be free and live life according to your own design. Okay, and that's what this call is all about. Okay, so if you're excited, give me a heck yeah in the chat. Okay, and let's get going. So my name is Igor Kafetz, and I am an e-farmer, one of the few e-farmers in the world, and actually one of the guys who is the go-to authority on e-farming in the world right now. I make passive income from my laptop to the tune of $300, $500, even $1,000 per day, and even more. And here's me holding a check for $352,000 that I've earned as a result of doing e-farming. So I want to share with you how I got my first Ferrari, how I work on my own schedule, how I live life on my own terms. I want to share with you how I can take off on a trip anytime I wish and still not worry about my income, and how I don't have to beg my boss or anyone really for a vacation or a day off, how I can do it completely on a whim, and how I can make money from anywhere in the world and any time. Okay, now my life right now is pretty great, and even sometimes I really feel like I must be dreaming, because just a short while ago my life was living hell. I did grow up in a really small town in Israel. My parents are Ukrainian immigrants. We moved there in the year 2000, and just at the turn of the century. And you know, the weird writing you're seeing here is Hebrew, so this is back in Israel. And yeah, I mean, our small town was just like you see in all the movies. It's a hick town. There's no future. There's no jobs. It was a dump. And I didn't really have opportunities, if you will. So the only way for my parents to be able to give me some good education was to send me to a military academy, and that's exactly what they've done. This is me next to my friend Misha, and I'm going to this military academy. I'm like 14 years old, and then after I graduated, I couldn't really find a good job anyway, in spite of having a good education. So I ended up getting a job at this chemical facility that is producing chemicals and pesticides for the Central America's agricultural industry. Now, this was a really toxic job, and I really mean it, not in a way where it's like I hated my boss, but in a way where it was really dangerous to my health, because you weren't allowed on the premises without like a proper hazmat suit, and like that was a rule. Like they wouldn't even let you in to get to work unless you were fully protected and wearing all this gear. And when you were going home, before they let you go home, they took you through like this bio shower, if you will, or a chemical shower, where you had to wash off all the chemicals before you were allowed to leave the premises. Otherwise, you get cancer. But this wasn't really the worst part about this job. The worst part about the job is that just like any other job, it was the rat race, right? I really hated the experience of waking up in the morning, sometimes waking up in the midday because I had to work in the afternoon, because this factory worked 24/7, and having to go to work, then finish, go back, come back from home exhausted, and really have no life. And besides that, I was also struggling to pay my bills. In spite of my bills being relatively low, I mean, I was just getting started in life, but still, I was struggling to pay my bills. I was miserable. The job wasn't necessarily challenging me, or I wasn't growing. I didn't feel like I was making any difference. And if I wanted to go on vacation, I couldn't, because even if my boss would agree to let me go on vacation, which most of the time wouldn't happen, I just didn't have the money to go anywhere. So this whole experience of getting into the adulthood, if you will, was a miserable experience for me, until I finally worked up the courage to say, well, there has to be a different way. I mean, there has to be. It can't be that life is that life comes down to this. It just can't be, because there's no point in living the next 60 years like that. I just couldn't see any point whatsoever. So I turned to the self-help section of the internet, and I started reading the same books that you probably read. I started reading the Robert Kiyosaki, the Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Tim Ferriss, Stephen Covey, Jim Rohn, all the greats of self-help, right? And then one day I went to Tony Robbins's website, where I noticed he was doing something that I would later coin as e-farming. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. Do any of the other gurus, like, are any of the other gurus doing it as well? And I went to Bob Proctor's website, and turns out that he was actually really big into e-farming. I went to Tim Ferriss's website, and he was into e-farming as well. Robert G. Allen, the real estate guy, the number one real estate best-selling author, he was doing it quite aggressively, actually. And Jim Rohn, even after he died, because I started reading Jim Rohn's stuff after he died, even he did it. Even he did e-farming. Joe Vitale, Mr. Fire, the guy from the movie The Secret, I mean, he did it too. So all these people were way more successful than me, way richer than me. They were living the life of their dreams, and here they are, all e-farming. So I wonder, like, is there a common thread? Is the coincidence, or are they doing it on purpose? So I started going further and further into this rabbit hole, and I'm sure you know the experience, where it's like you ask one question, then you pull on the thread, and it's more, more, more. So you end up going down this rabbit hole, and it's like, who else is involved? And I discovered that Oprah was e-farming. Lady Gaga, with her brand House Laboratories, was e-farming too. I think that Tyra Banks was e-farming with her Gold Belly ice cream brand. Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, was e-farming like crazy, probably one of the bigger ones in the world. Venus Williams with her brand 11 was e-farming. And Ellen DeGeneres with her store Ed was e-farming as well. Rihanna with her Fenty Beauty brand, she was e-farming too. Kristen Bell was e-farming. Hugh Jackman, the guy from the X-Men movies, so he's got a coffee brand, and he's aggressively farming with that. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were doing this with their foundation, and even The Rock, yes, The Rock was e-farming with his brand Teremana Tequila. And the question becomes, if all these people are doing it, they're making money, but they're all famous and rich and yada yada, can someone like me do it? Honestly, can someone who's not a celebrity, who doesn't have a website, doesn't have any money, doesn't have any product to sell, and has no business experience, can someone like that make money? And my initial response was, no way. There's no way. They're special. I'm not. They have superpowers. I don't. They are, it's, I mean, The Rock, Tony Robbins. Come on, it's just there's a whole other level of human being. So, but then I kept on researching online, and what I figured is what exactly do I have to lose by trying? I mean, let's think about it. There's really only three outcomes. Only three outcomes if I ever tried to get into e-farming. Outcome number one would be I would get in and I would basically fail and I would end up in the exact same spot where I already was. So I'd get in, I wouldn't necessarily achieve any result, and then I would be exactly where I was. So nothing to lose there, in my opinion, besides maybe some time. Option number two, I could have gotten rich beyond my wildest dreams. And option number three, I could have landed somewhere in between where I wouldn't necessarily get, as rich as Tony Robbins, but I could have gotten, some money. I could have made some money, maybe built something, and maybe would have my life would be better off as a result. So I decided to pull the plunge and I decided to do it. But where do I even start? And this is where I went down the rabbit hole even further, only to discover that there is a community of people who are secretly doing e-farming, who are not celebrities, who don't have products to sell, who don't, I mean, people don't know them. When they walk down the street, nobody recognizes them. They don't really have anything going on for them. They're completely average, normal people, just like you and me, who are making a ton of money with e-farming. And they figured out a way how anyone, no matter how much of an average person they are, how anyone can get into e-farming without being rich and famous, without a website, without a product of their own, without any previous experience. Now that was fascinating to me. It truly was. And I started approaching people in this community and I started asking them to teach me, but nobody wanted to teach me for free. Nobody wants to give their golden goose for free, right? And I guess neither should they. So I forked out the cash to become an insider. I literally had to bribe people to teach me how it's done. And what happened in the next several weeks was nothing short of life-changing for me. I didn't expect this to happen. I kind of secretly hoped it might, but I never really truly expected it because first and foremost, I started getting checks in the mail, checks with actual real money, physical money that was made on the internet. And it's funny because my dad, I shared with my dad exactly what my dreams and hopes were with regards to the sea farming business, and he almost laughed me out of the room because he felt it was just a waste of time. The internet is full of scams. And of course, how can you prove him wrong if he's like a 45 or 50-year-old Ukrainian, right, who never really interacted with the internet? You can't. It's just a different generation, right? Well, when I got my first check in the mail, this is the picture of my first or maybe my second check. I don't remember exactly because I think my first check that came in, I didn't really have the patience to take a photo. I just stare up that envelope open and I would want to see the money, like show me the money. But the moment the first check came in, I took it to my dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, look, real money." And from that day, my dad became my biggest fan and he started supporting me in every beginning, in every endeavor, anything that I've ever done. So that felt kind of nice to prove him wrong. So I started making money, and as a result, I had a lot of extra cash. So I started, inviting my girlfriend to go out to dinner. We started taking trips, renting boats, going to nice, vacations, and all of that while I continued to rinse and repeat and make even more money. Now, at some point, my income got so big that I was able to not only walk away from my day job, but also to be able to afford a really expensive luxury car. I finally worked up the courage to propose because I felt I was now financially stable to support a family. My daughter was born. We kept on taking trips to Paris, to Vegas, to Europe for to soccer matches, football match. I'm a big football fan, so taking trips to see games. And eventually I also ended up moving to Canada, to one of the most expensive cities in the world, Toronto, in Ontario, where I am now able to live in a pretty decent house, I'd say, in a nice neighborhood, driving a nice car. As you can see from this image, it's a Porsche. So I mean, I've been able to afford pretty much everything I've ever dreamed of wanting to afford. And today I'm able to sleep well at night knowing that there's a nest egg in case anything that happens to me that my family can fall back on, something that I would call like a rainy day fund, if you will, like if something bad happens. so my family can be okay. So e-farming gives me unlimited income potential because I continue to build more and more income streams. I have multiple streams of income, so there's never just one way I get paid. I get paid multiple different ways. There's time freedom because I get to choose how I do things and what schedule to work to, etc. I got location freedom because I can do it from anywhere in the world, and I live life on my own terms. In other words, everything that I do, my planning goes around, okay, this is how my life is. Now let's plan the work around that. Now remember, I'm a nobody, right? I'm just a nobody who follows a system. Now, I would like to show you my system. Okay, just like I showed Paul here, who's reporting making $10,000 in just 30 days, which I think is life-changing for a teacher, right? For a teacher from the UK, who's still a teacher, by the way, who's like he's making this kind of money part-time. And so what I want to share with you first is what exactly is e-farming? Well, you know how social media influencers get paid by businesses to post on Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms, right? I mean, everybody's familiar with the concept of an influencer, right? Give me a quick yes in the chat if you are. Okay, cool. So these influencers can get paid only if they have millions upon millions upon millions of followers. However, did you know that the same businesses that pay these influencers, they also pay even more money to e-farmers? Because, and for less work too, for just about 10 minutes of work. And here's why. Because according to Forbes, every $1 they pay an e-farmer gives them $42 back. So in other words, every time they pay a dollar to an e-farmer, they make $42 back. It means it's profitable for them to do so. So how exactly then e-farming works, right? What exactly is the process of e-farming? Does it have anything to do with like having a cow or driving a tractor in a field? No, it has nothing to do with any of that. This is completely online. Okay, you don't need a tractor, you don't need a farmhouse, you don't need a barn, you don't need a cow, you don't need any cattle, nothing like that. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. To beat the rooster to the sunrise, nothing like that. In fact, it's much simpler than that. And once I explain to you how this works, you'd be like, wow, this is incredibly, incredibly simple. So look, e-farming is the process of building an email database of people who ask to be kept informed via email about offers and products they could benefit from. Now, this is really important you make this distinction that this is not spam. This is the complete opposite of spam because the email addresses are obtained on a complete and strict permission basis, right? So it's not like you're scraping email addresses of the internet and you're just randomly spamming people. No, 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 no. This is completely above board, no spam. It's completely GDPR compliant because the email addresses are given to e-farmers on a permission basis, which means people want to give the e-farmer their email address. Now, what this means is that these people want to receive emails from you. Now, and this is really important because then you've got an audience, a responsive audience that wants to hear from you. In fact, there's been a study done by Adobe, okay, that proved that 61% of people who ever buy anything want to receive offers in their email and don't want to receive offers on their text message or receive a cold phone call that we know can be really annoying. They don't want to go on social media to receive offers. They want the offers to come in the mail. And I think that's pretty fascinating. And it explains why people like Barack Obama, for example, get tons of donations specifically via email, right? They just send out an email and ask for donations. There's a reason, and it explains why Tony Robbins sends out emails every single day. There's a reason why Bob Proctor sends out all kinds of different offers and emails every single day. There's a reason why Oprah has like 1 million different newsletters. And the reason is because it is profitable. But you're thinking, Igor, I totally get that, but I'm not Oprah. I'm not Bob Proctor. I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm not Barack Obama. right? So I can't really do this. I'm not a celebrity. I don't really have anything to sell. And that's cool because remember, I started without a following, without website building skills, without a product or a product idea, business experience or education, or any sort of seed money or seed capital. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to show you my step-by-step system for nobodies like me, for nobodies like you, because you don't have to be a celebrity, you don't have to be famous, and you don't have to have a product to sell if you want to make money with e-farming. So just so, again, just so you understand, this does not require you to be the next Tony Robbins. Okay, nothing like that. In fact, I'll share with you exactly how this works. But first, I want to answer the question, why email? Why not Facebook? Why not Instagram? Why not TikTok? Why not YouTube? Why not, whatever? Why email? What makes email so special? Well, here's an interesting statistic. It's a study done by Opt-in Monster that showed that the response rate from an email is about 40 times higher than a response rate from social media posts. Now, just so you understand what this actually means when you translate it into money, is if an estimated income from 1,000 social media followers is going to be, let's say, $100, then an estimated income from 1,000 email subscribers is going to be over $4,000. Same amount of followers, same amount of subscribers, but the income difference is 40-fold. Now, who here likes the idea of not having to work 40 times more, but at the same time get paid 40 times more? I think that's a pretty cool concept, and I think that's how you create true leverage and true freedom. Another study, another interesting case study done by MailMunch shows that email subscribers spend more and spend more often than social media followers. In other words, if it takes you, for example, 10 attempts to get a social media follower to buy something from you, right? If it takes you like 10 posts to get their attention, then it'll take you only one post or only one email to get that subscriber to buy something via email. And there's a good chance that that subscriber will spend a lot more money when they do. Because there's a difference between making 10 sales at $1 versus making 10 sales at $100. It's still 10 sales, but the email sales are going to be a lot more valuable. And it's almost unanimous now, if you go and do your research, that the Wall Street Journal and other publications, they all agree that email is the hot channel. Email is the hot media. Email is where the money is. And there's, again, and what it means is there's a reason why your inbox probably looks something like this, where you're getting hundreds and hundreds of emails every single day from everybody who wants to sell you something, right? Because it works. It's as simple as that. You get those emails because they work, because that's where the money is. And what's really, really cool is that it's as easy to get this money as pressing the send button if you have an e-farm. Okay? So what I want to show you is exactly how I earned as much as $40,000 and $40,476 when I send out a couple of emails to my e-farm, just like I showed Albie, who reports making $10,000 in just 3 days. And the sales are still coming through of the moment of him sending me this testimonial. Okay, so there's 3 steps in my e-farming system. There's 3 specific steps, 3 things that need to happen. First, we need to cultivate a large e-farm fast by passively generating hundreds of email addresses a day legally. Okay, again, I remind you, we want to do this above board. We're not going to do anything shady. We're not going to spam anybody. We will be GDPR compliant. We will be spam compliant. This is all above board. This is something you can do and you can be proud of. You can talk about it at the next dinner party. This is 100% legit. Then we will use done-for-you products and e-letters to monetize your e-farm, which I'll explain in a minute. And finally, the crown jewel of this strategy is we're going to automate the whole system to earn passive income using e-automation software, okay? So the end goal of this process is to work smart, not hard. This is not to have you work more. This is to have you work less and make more. So the first things first, we need to build a large email subscriber base, because the larger your email subscriber base, the bigger your income. As simple as that. As far as I'm concerned, anytime I add another email subscriber on my email database, I see dollar signs, because every new email subscriber is more money in my bank account. That's how you need to be looking at this. The bigger your email subscriber base, the more money you will make, okay? Now, the common mistake is to try and go and network and go to seminars and prospect and cold call people and try to collect emails that way. That is a really bad way to do it. It's a really slow way to do it, and it's really labor intensive way to do it. I highly do not recommend doing it this way. Now, the other way that people try to do it is they try to produce content. They try to create content for all kinds of social media outlets, blogs, news articles, and they end up spending their life behind their laptop typing away in hopes of creating content or maybe creating videos. But again, this is a mistake because it requires a lot of work, and this strategy has only gotten more difficult over the years because of how saturated the content creation industry is. Instead, I would like to share with you a shortcut that allows you to put hundreds and thousands of email addresses onto your email subscriber database literally overnight without lifting a finger, okay? So it's called email drops. So what we'll do, we'll use something called email drops to build our email database. You see, there are tons of publishers out there who publish email newsletters to millions and millions and millions of people. And that means that we can simply approach them and get them to send out an email telling their subscribers to join our e-farm for a small one-time fee. Think about these publishers as radio stations, newspapers, and other outlets, online outlets, and most of which, by the way, are not big conglomerates or anything like that. These are regular, absolutely normal people who just happen to have found a way to build an audience in one way or another. And they have an audience, but they don't always have something to send them. So when you approach them and you say, hey, can you send out my stuff and for an exchange for a one-time fee, it is the same as you approaching a radio station and saying, hey, can you run my ad in exchange for a one-time fee? Now, the result of this strategy is you being able to add literally hundreds, if not thousands of people to your database, to your e-farm. So if you wanted to add hundreds of new email addresses into your e-farm, this is the strategy I would highly recommend. Now, the other good news is that this is 100% CAN-SPAM and GDPR compliant shortcut to do it, because the email that goes out advertising you and telling people to join your e-farm is from on the behalf of the database owner, which means it's not like you all of a sudden appearing in front of them. No. You're getting an endorsement from that newsletter publisher, and that gives you instant credibility with a whole bunch of people. And so this way you can build a large e-farm in a matter of days, weeks maybe, but definitely not months or years. And just like Darren here, you can quickly scale to your first $100 day and then to your first $300 day as a result of following this strategy. All right. Now, the other interesting thing is that you can build multiple e-farms at the same time on autopilot in different niches. So as you can see, these are examples of e-drops with different publishers in different industries. Left to right, we're looking at I think it's either political or financial. In the middle, we're looking at survival, and on the right-hand side, we're looking at health and wellness. So different niches, and you can build multiple e-farms all at the same time. Now, what this means to you is that you can build multiple streams of income at the same time. You can actually be tapping into different markets all at the same time. And that will create unlimited income streams, unlimited income potential for you, because there's really no limit to how many e-farms you can create because of how easy they are to build and how easy they are to manage. So you can continue to build more income streams and more income streams and more income streams and more income streams and more income streams, just like you're seeing me do it on screen right now. All this is real when you've got multiple e-farms working for you 24/7, sending basically sending commissions your way. Okay. Now, once you've got your e-farm growing, how exactly do you make money with your e-farm? Well, first off, we're not going to do any of the following to make money. We're not going to manufacture products. We're not going to negotiate with suppliers, and we are going to build. We're not going to build a brand. We're not. Okay, we're not going to build a brand. Instead, we're going to create multiple streams of income using partnerships. We're going to partner with companies and brands, and we're going to share a link to their website to our e-farm by sending pre-created e-letters using an e-automation software. Okay. Now, this concept is called affiliate marketing. You might have heard about it before, might have not, but it is responsible for a lot of money online. In fact, over $12 billion a year is affiliate marketing. And almost all merchants now, pretty much no matter what they sell, they all have what's called an affiliate program or a partner program where they're willing to allow you to promote their website, their pages, in exchange for a commission when somebody buys, right? Now, what these businesses are now realizing is that it's much better to have an e-farmer as their affiliate promoting them than it is to go and try to pay people on social media, a flat fee to push out a message, because the results are different, because email is just producing way better results. So you'll actually be helping businesses or anyone with a product. Could be just a person who's got a cool product idea. So you'll be helping out these people and businesses while making really good passive income. Now, who can you partner with? You can partner with Amazon, Walmart, Expedia, Nordstrom, Nike, Under Armour. There's really no limit to how many companies you can partner with. And the upside of this partnering concept is it is free. You never pay to be a part of a partnership program. There's no contract or minimums required, and you don't need to talk to anyone to do it. There's no like interviews and applications and nothing like that. Now, there is a downside, however, of partnering up with household brands like Amazon and Walmart. First off, small payouts, because these companies operate in really slim margins, oftentimes selling things at a loss, so they can't really afford to pay you a lot. There's no residual income, and some will only approve influencers with a large social media following, which you might not have right now, and there's actually large competition too. It's just, because of how popular the companies are. And that is why I don't really partner up with Amazon and Walmart and all the other companies. What I do instead is I partner up with private, done-for-me income streams that pay me a lot more money and convert a lot better than Amazon, Walmart, etc., where I can make $1,000 just by making maybe 3 sales instead of having to make 1,000 sales to make $1,000, because Amazon pays me a minuscule commission. So this strategy allows me to work less and make a lot more. Okay. Now, upside part of the partnering process with these secret brands and done-for-you income streams that I just mentioned is it is also free. There's no contracts or minimums required. You don't need to talk to anyone. There's big payouts, which is a huge upside. These products are exclusive, and you actually get to help people solve real problems. The customers are grateful, and you get to create residual income, something you don't get to create with Amazon, Walmart, and all the rest. But there's actually more. These companies, these secret done-for-you income streams, they provide you with pre-written e-letters by professional copywriters, which means you don't need to write your e-letters yourself. All you have to do is just copy and paste and make money by hitting the send button. and the software does the rest for you. All you do then is just get paid. Now, to send out thousands of emails without doing the work every time, we're going to use something called the e-automation software. And that's an important component if you want to have freedom. Now, the e-farm automation works like this. Let's say we've now built an e-farm of 100 email addresses. So we're going to copy and paste the e-letter, and we're going to send it out to the entire 100 people, but we're not going to do it by hand. We're going to load it into the e-automation software, and it's going to send out each email address. It's going to just send out the letter. We don't do anything ourselves. We just load the software, and the software does it for us. And let's say we have created 5% conversion, made 5 sales, right? It took us 10 minutes to do everything, and we made 5 sales. Now, then the next day, we've added another 100 email addresses to our e-farm, so now there's 200, right? So now we're going to load another email, again, copy paste, and then we let the software send out the 200 emails. Again, we don't send it out ourselves. We don't copy and paste the same email 200 times. The software does that for us. So once again, we create a 5% conversion. Now we have 10 sales. That's day 2. So we keep repeating this process until we get to day 30. And let's say we kept adding 100 people, 100 email subscribers at a time. And so now we have 3,000 email subscribers. We copy and paste the e-letter. Again, the software is the one doing the sending. And what we do, we send out and we get a 5% conversion on 3,000 email addresses. That's about 150 sales. So we've now been working the exact same amount of time, 10 minutes, and yet we've made 30 times more money. That's why e-automation software is so powerful. It's because that's the key to creating passive income for us. That's what we want. We don't want to be working around the clock. We want to create passive income, right? Yes. So let's recap. So my 3-step e-farming system is, first, we quickly cultivate a large e-farm with e-drops. Then we monetize the e-farm using secret done-for-you income streams. And 3, we use e-automation to earn passive income. Now, this is a foolproof system that simply doesn't fail. And so, for example, my student Derman from Malaysia, who decided to get into e-farming while being a full-time student. So he made $370 in just 2 hours, and he barely spoke English. He still barely speaks English, by the way, right? So it's good that he doesn't have to talk to anybody to make this money. Or Daz here, who says that he's been wasting time and money trying to look for ways to make money online until finally e-farming clicked for him when I showed it to him. Or Chris here, who says that he made more money in a single week with this approach than all the other things he ever done online. Or Daniel, who actually made $2,500 in a month with e-farming, and it's the most he ever made in a month before. So the question then becomes, would you like me to show you how to build your first e-farm by building it in front of your eyes so you can follow along click by click? Just type in yes, no in the chat. Would you like me to give you all my templates, shortcuts, and hacks to help you make maximum money in minimum time with e-farming? Would you like me to show you the fastest way to have a wildly profitable e-farm in just 30 minutes per day? Yeah, I mean it, just 30 minutes per day. If so, then I'm happy to introduce you to my e-farming system, because what I've done is I've built a wildly profitable system that allows you to build an e-farm of your own in just 30 minutes per day. Now, why does it work? Well, first off, I've got building profitable e-farms now down to a process in the system. There's no guesswork, there's no theory, there's just an actual process I follow every time. It's kind of like making a good burger. There's a specific process you follow. There's no guesswork, there's no magic, there's ingredients, and there's a certain thing you do with them. The system eliminates the guesswork, And the system is easily duplicatable by a complete beginner. So this is going to speed up your progress, eliminate confusion, and avoid overwhelm. Okay, so if you don't like confusion, if you don't like overwhelm, and you really want to see more progress, this is something you need to check out. Now, I also want to make sure you understand this is no theory, no textbooks, no going through lots and lots and lots and lots of content, listening to lectures, nothing like that. This is a system that's designed to get your results really fast, where you just color between the lines. You execute. You don't sit there and study, right? I think there is enough information out there. I think the reason people fail is not because they don't have information. If all we needed was information to succeed, then with all the with thousands and millions of different books about weight loss and relationships and money, we would all have been, rich, skinny, and happy, right? But it's not about that. It's about actually following the right system. Now, what's inside my e-farming system? I'm showing you how to put together your e-farm from scratch without any technical experience, and how to automatically cultivate hundreds of responsive email addresses every day to build a huge herd within weeks, not years, and how to obtain permission to send them e-letters with offers. Okay, I'm also showing you how to collect your email addresses into an e-automation software, how to send e-letters to your entire e-herd at the push of a button so you can work smart, and how to set up automatic e-letters to be sent to every new email address who joins your e-farm without touching anything, so you can make automated income. I'm also showing you how to make money with your e-farm by partnering with brands who will give you done-for-you income streams for free, and where to find high-paying done-for-you income streams in the first place, as well as income streams that pay weekly and monthly residual income, so you can build passive income over time. You're also going to find out how to set up multiple streams of income with your e-farm from day one, and how to work smart to scale your e-farming income, and how to automate your e-farm to make passive income so you have the time to build the next e-farm if you wanted to, or just go and enjoy your life. So this only takes 30 minutes a day for the next 30 days. So you can start seeing results like John here, who's been seeing $400 and $900 days, like David here, who makes as much as $3,300 in a single day, like Peter here, who made $916 in a single day, and like all these other people who are making money as we speak. Now, how much is this system going to cost? Look, I charge $8,000 for one-on-one coaching. But for webinar attendees only, I want to do something special. I want to show you a way to get my system for a tiny fraction of that price. And to show you exactly how it's going to happen, I want you to meet KJ. This is Kevin from Nottingham. And Kevin used to work a really demanding construction job where he was away from home 2 weeks at a time, and he started realizing he wants to spend more time with his wife and his son, and he wants to change his life. So he approached me, and I told him that I charge $8,000 for coaching, and he said, okay, I don't have $8,000. And I said, well, pay it off, and let's start with 4 payments, and you can pay off with your profits. And that's exactly what he did. So he sent me the first $2,000, and we got to work. I showed him exactly how to do what to do. I showed him my system, and he did it from his kitchen table. And shortly after, the results he reported were nothing short of amazing. So the best thing to describe how he was able to change his life was he was able to put down a down payment on a brand new family home using 100% internet money. So he basically bought this house with internet money as a result of becoming an e-farmer. Of course, he was able to ditch his 9 to 5 as well. He paid me off my entire mentoring fee of $8,000. And of course, that was one of the best decisions he ever made. And so my question to you is, would you like me to coach you on how to make money with e-farming like I did for Kevin without paying the same fee that Kevin paid of $8,000 for coaching with me? Now give me a quick yes in the chat if you do, or I don't know, just give me a straight up answer. Would you like to know how you can get in without having to pay the $8,000 mentoring fee? Awesome. Okay, I'm seeing lots of yeses. So some of you probably thinking, okay, but what's the catch, right? What's the why?
Why are you willing to do it? Well, it's very simple. You see, Kevin paid for my secrets and for my time. This means I had to personally sit down and teach him everything over Zoom meetings. But soon I realized that I can only help so many people this way, and it created a bottleneck. So instead, what I've done is I packaged my method into a system that anyone can follow. Like, for example, I gave it to Brian here, and he made $350 in the last 3 days alone. Or Chrissy here from Reading, and she built a 9.9 thousand e-farm and started making thousands of dollars every single week in passive income. Or Emily's here, who started making 10, 20, even $30,000 per month, again, going through the same system. This system created countless success stories at this point, and there's way too many to mention in one slide. But the good news, the really good news, is that this system, the way it's packaged, it allows me to give you 88% off my 8,000 mentoring fee, so you can get going for just $997 one time. And even though I know you don't need it, I will give you a full success guarantee that if within the next 30 days you don't become a proud owner of an e-farm that's at least 1,000 email addresses big, I will buy your e-farm back from you, no questions asked, and I will grow it myself and I will make money with it myself. But I know you won't need this guarantee because I see the results my students are getting, like Suhei, like Alia, who's got a 2.1 thousand e-farm, like Alexander from Fort Plain, New York, who got a 2.8 thousand e-farm, like Billy, who got a 1.2 thousand e-farm, like Brian from BC, who got 2.4 thousand e-farm, like Eugene, who actually says that he tried everything to make money online, pretty much every possible scheme out there, and he didn't even know what e-farming was when he started. But today he's got a business that's capable of supporting him and that creates 5 figures in just 2 weeks. So the same system. Now, before I share with you exactly how to get the system, I also want to share with you the X factor. Now, what is the X factor? The X factor is what I found to be the most common thing, the most common trait between all of my successful students. Because not every student is made equal, of course. And what I've done is I focused on the ones who succeeded the most. And I said, okay, what is common between you guys? And so to explain to you what makes a great success story with my e-farming system, I want you to meet Juan from Panama. Now, when Juan approached me, he was a recovering alcoholic with about $1,500 to his name. And he said that he really desperately needed my help, and he heard from some of his friends that I was like the e-farming master, and then he wanted to learn from me. And to which I said the same thing I said to Kevin. I said, okay, well, I charge $8,000 for mentoring. He said, I don't have $8,000. I only have $1,500 to my name. To which I said, okay, well, give me $1,500, and I'll give you my system. But I won't be coaching you directly. I won't be like spending time with you one-on-one on the phone or Skype or Zoom or whatever. He agreed, and shortly after he reported making $10,891 in just 3 days. Okay, now that's pretty cool if you ask me. That's really pretty cool. Going from like completely broke to making 10 grand in 3 days. Now, he also went on to buy himself a Maserati that year and completely redefining his lifestyle and the lifestyle of his community. So one thing that I can tell you that I see common between all of my successful students, so the ones you see on screen right now is a chemistry teacher, it's an 82-year-old chemistry teacher, a bankrupt real estate broker or owner or something like that. He got hit in a 2008 crisis. A woman from Romania, a single mom of 2 from New Zealand, a recovering alcoholic from Panama, a mother of 3 from the Philippines, a family from Philadelphia, a single dude from New York. What all they have in common is decisiveness. My successful students are decisive. Whenever they have an opportunity in front of them, even if they don't have all the details, even if they're a little bit afraid, they act anyway and they figure things out as they go. So they've got this ready, fire, aim mentality, which I think is essential for success in what we do. And so to incentivize you be a little bit more decisive right now, I want to give you $26,855 in ethical bonuses. In other words, I want to give you 26,855 reasons to be decisive today on this webinar. However, it's only for the first 10 people, right? These bonuses that I'm about to announce are only for the first 10 people. First off, same day email and phone support. I've got a strict no student left behind policy and a dedicated full-time support staff, as well as you can get video responses by me for any out of the ordinary requests or questions that you might have. My support is extremely responsive. They take good care of everyone who studies under me, and there's a reason why we've got a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. So this is $18,000 value because that's how much it costs me to employ support staff over the course of the next 6 months of you working with me. I'm also going to give you lifetime updates for free moving forward, which means this. Oftentimes, sometimes, not too often, but often enough, I guess, things don't stop working, but they evolve. They get updated, basically. For example, the e-automation software may change interface, and now it's doing the same thing, only it looks different. So anytime there's an update required, you get the updated training material or manuals for free. So you can stay up to date with what's working and what's no longer working, okay? So you won't have to pay anything extra. That's $997 value. You will also get Top Done For You Income Streams Rolodex, where I show you how to maximize your income by working with the Done For You income streams, get paid more money compared to average income streams, and avoid trial and error of having to go look for income streams yourself. These are the same income streams that are making me a ton of money right now, and I want to give those income streams to you so you can work with proven income streams for yourself. This is a $1997 value. I would also like to give you the e-automation quick start guide. The automation can be confusing if you're not tech savvy. So to avoid getting lost in unimportant technical detail, I show you the meat and potatoes and actually walk you through exactly what you need to do. Think about it this way. When you learn to drive a car, you learn the essentials: how to switch, how to change gears, how to steer, how to turn, get on the highway, right? You don't go under the hood of the car to try and understand how the hell the damn thing works. So this is the exact same thing. I teach you how to drive the e-automation software, but I don't teach you how it actually works. Okay, so this is a $297 value as well. I'm also giving you the fill-in-the-blanks e-letters. You see, eFarmer makes money by mailing e-letters with done-for-you product offerings. So most done-for-you products come with pre-written e-letters. Some e-letters work well, while some don't work so well, and some don't work at all. So what I've done is I've developed a set of foolproof e-letters that boost results no matter what you are promoting, okay? So this is $3,564 value, and it's also yours for free, okay? Now, another thing I want to give you is what I call the passive income machine. Now, I wasn't born rich, so I could never go into stocks or real estate or do any sort of high-level financial stuff. So what I've done is I built a system to start making passive income using a one-page website and email marketing, and build multiple streams of income that actually last. So I want this for you, so I'm going to give it to you as well. This is $29.97 value. I would also like to give you my fertilizer sources. Now, the more your e-farm grows, the more it will make. We've already established that. The bigger your e-farm, the more money you're making. So the key to fast growth is to quickly generate lots of email addresses on autopilot. Now, it is done through e-drops, through newsletters owned by other people, aka sources. And inside my e-farming system, I show you how to find these newsletters. Now, in this bonus, though, I'm giving you the specific sources to work with that I've personally vetted for you, okay? So here's an example of what you can do with these fertilizer sources. This is my student Justin, who started exploding, immediately growing a huge e-farm in a matter of days and making money in the process. So this is $29.97 value and is also yours for free. Now, I also would like to give you a done for you e-farm. Yes, what I've done is I've built a brand new e-farm, and I am allowing you to clone it with just a few clicks. So you can use it as a baseline to build your second, third, fourth, and so on e-farm. So this way you can actually duplicate them like clockwork and continue to build out your income streams. Now this whole thing, this whole bonus package is valued at $48,846, but I'm giving you all these bonuses for free if you're within the first 10 people, the first 10 people to enroll in my e-farming system, which you can do right now, and you should do right now
by going to igor.top/efarming in your browser.
Okay, so don't even wait for me to finish. If you want these bonuses, and trust me, you want these bonuses, you definitely want to go and
visit igor.top/efarming right now. Open a new tab in your browser and type in igor.top/efarming and sign up.
You will not get a better deal than this on an e-farming system ever. In fact, you will not even find a better e-farming system than this one because no one's teaching e-farming. Nobody knows what e-farming is. And this is one of the easiest ways for anyone to make money, for anyone. No matter who you are, what your experience is, I don't care. You can be like Brian here, who made $350 over just 3 days, which means he's been averaging over $100 per day online. You can be like Angela here, who was struggling, trying different methods online, trying different approaches until she finally started e-farming, and she can now easily make $100 a day. You won't find an easier way to make money than this. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, now is the time to post the questions because you need to be in the first 10 people to enroll into my e-farming system if you want to get all these bonuses. But in addition, you can also see a timer on your screen right now. And this timer shows you when I'm taking down this offer, which means whether you're in the first 10 or not, this offer is gone in the next 28 minutes. So this is the time for you to make a decision right now. If you want to enroll in my e-farming system, if you want me to show you exactly how to make money, just like I did for Arun here, who is not only enjoying the money that he's making with e-farming, but also says that the freedom and the confidence that comes with it is what he's enjoying the most,
then you need to go to igor.top/efarming right now
and enroll into my e-farming system. Okay, good. Now, there's so many case studies, there's so many testimonials that I can show you, but trust me, even when I tell you about my college student from Malaysia, right? So the guy who's barely speaking English, building a 4,400 person e-farm and making $370 in just 2 hours. I mean, when I tell you this, it's really not enough for you to truly experience this for yourself. And I can tell you, if you're on the fence right now, whether or not you'll make money, right? You're thinking, okay, well, if I enroll in this and I try this, will I make money? Will I won't make money? I can tell you for sure that the one way you will guaranteed not make money is if you do not get into e-farming. That much I can guarantee you, because e-farming is the most baddest way to make money online right now and for the next 5 to 10 years for sure. Now, another thing that I didn't tell you is that besides making money like Celeste here, for example, who actually has an offline business and is also a mom of 3, and she was still able to build her e-farming business to an additional income stream of $3,000 per month, which for Philippines, in my opinion, is a lot of money and makes a big difference, especially for a family that can with 3 children. The other thing people don't realize is that you can build your e-farm and you can sell it. I don't know if you knew this, but the number one reason people get into business or become an entrepreneur is so they can sell it, right? A lot of times you see people like go through hell to build some kind of a small business because they're dreaming of the day when they will sell it. Well, the beauty of this one is that you can build it quite easily, and you can sell it to somebody who doesn't know how to do this. So they'll be looking at you like you got this golden goose, and you can sell it to them, and you can build another one and sell it again. So if you want to be making money that way, in addition to making money while you're building the business, that too is very much possible. But even if not, even if you're not intending to sell anything and you just want a way to make money, kind of like Darren here, who works full time. Well, when he met me, he worked full time. And then I showed him my e-farming system. And then he had his first $100 day. And then shortly after, his $300 day. And then now he's got thousands of people on this e-farm. Well, guess what? You can then make a decision. Do you want to stay at your day job? Like, are you staying because you want to be there, or are you staying because you got to pay the bills? Because, the number one reason why people wake up in the morning is because they got to pay the bills, right? I mean, that's the number one answer you'll get. Like, why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you wake up in the morning on Monday? Well, got to pay the bills. Well, imagine if you didn't have to wake up to pay the bills, because these days I wake up and my bills are paid because I made money overnight. Even as I'm on this webinar with you, right? I had a $900 payment come in about 10 minutes ago. I also had a $3,000 payment come in about 30 minutes ago. So even while I'm here helping you, I'm still getting paid from my other passive income streams. And the experience of getting unexpected checks in the mail or unexpected payments on my PayPal account is a common experience for me because of how many income streams I was able to build with my e-farms over the past couple of years. So again, it's the same system that I showed to Dave, who now has 2,500 emails on his e-farm in just 3 weeks. Think about it, in just 3 weeks. He says he hasn't quit his day job yet, but he already made over $2,000 while building his e-farm. That's substantial. That makes a huge difference. Brian here says that Igor is the only internet marketing guru I know who goes the extra mile for his students. His training is always on point. He knows his stuff. The reason he says that is because Brian's been around the block, and he worked with quote unquote gurus. Well, you see, like I said, I came out of this semi-retirement because once you got a car in the driveway and a big house and you got some investments going on, I mean, you really need a different reason to wake up in the morning. Whether you enroll in my system today or not will not change anything for me. I'll be making money. My e-farms will continue to make money. My question is, if you don't enroll with me today, will you be making money? That's the question you want to ask yourself. Because for some of you, that answer is no. For some of you, if you don't enroll today, you won't be making money. Andrea here, for example, she's from Romania. So she found me after getting kind of kicked out of her job and her employer refusing to pay her salary for a few months. So she borrowed money from her mom to enroll with me. But now she makes over $3,000 per month. And she still lives in Romania, by the way, right? That's a lot of money in Romania. Or Jason here from Australia, who says, Igor is undoubtedly the best decision I've ever made, or joining Igor is the best decision I've ever made. Yesterday, I smashed through my first $100 day. As you can see, it's super common for my students to be making $100 a day. Super common, way more common than not. It's because the system works. It's not because the students are special. The only thing I look for in a student is decisiveness. The one thing that I know gets in the way of results is dilly-dallying. And why is that? Well, because if you don't take any action, then nothing changes. But if you do take action and you follow the right system, guess what? Things will happen. like they did for Lennon here, who was a really just a frustrated MLM junkie who ended up making a switch from MLM to e-farming, and he built himself a 7,000 email farm and an income of $8,000 per month, which means he was earning on average about just over $1 per an email subscriber on his email database per month. That's why I said the bigger your e-farm, the more money you will make, right? The more subscribers on your email database, the bigger your e-farm, the more you will make. It's a very simple math. You got 1,000 people on your e-farm, you're on track to making, let's say, $1,000. You've got 2,000 people on your e-farm, guess what? You're on track to making more. Grow it to 3,000 people, guess what? Now you're on track to make even more. And let's not forget multiple streams of income. That's very important, because you see, the thing about multiple streams of income that people don't realize is it gives you confidence. It allows you to make moves in life. For example, for James, it allowed him to move from Connecticut to Florida, because now he knew that even if he moved, he didn't have to go looking for a job. And because he's got multiple streams of income, he knows that he'll make enough money to pay his bills. See what I mean? Or Bill here. Bill actually approached me not because he had a bad job. Bill approached me having a very good job. I think he was making something like $8,000 a month or something like that. But he was working very hard. He was waking up like at 5 a.m. in the morning. But he also had a ton of student loan debt, a ton. So he needed a way to pay it off. That's what he wanted to do, because he didn't want to pay all that crazy interest. Well, guess what? He started doing e-farming on the side and built an income of $3,000 to $6,000 per month, and was able to pay off his student loans. Or Albie here made $10,000 in just 3 days because he started mailing some e-letters to his giant e-farm. I think his e-farm at the time was like 9 or 10,000 people. So, I mean, anyone with an e-farm has this asset, has this golden goose, and they're able to produce income for themselves. If you really go looking and you start trying to notice how people make money online, all of a sudden you'll see that e-farming is everywhere. That anyone who's making money online, they're involved in e-farming, because it's working. It works, and it will work for you. That's why I'm giving you my guarantee. I know you won't need it, but I'm giving it to you anyway. I guarantee that in the next 30 days, just follow my system 30 minutes per day. And if you don't walk away with at least 1,000 big e-farm, then I'll buy it back. I'll buy your e-farm back from you, and I'll go make money with it myself. Okay? I won't share any profits with you, just FYI, but I'll just get it myself. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Or like David here. David is actually one of my biggest success stories, who built an over $100,000 per month e-farming business. And I was just meeting with David the other day because he lives nearby here in Ontario, in Toronto. He's been now semi-retired for the last 2 years, and he's pretty much been doing nothing because of all the passive income streams that he's got coming in through e-farming. And the guy's like not even 40 years old yet. How many people do you know that are self-made who can like semi-retire at that age? I don't know too many people like that. I really don't. And compared to drop shipping or trying to deal with Amazon, e-farming is a much, much, much better way to make money. It's really unmatched. You get to control everything. You don't get anyone to tell you what to do or call the shots or ban you or suspend your account like Amazon can do. There's no cutthroat competition. It's really It's really different. You don't need to put yourself out there. You don't need to become the next Tony Robbins. You don't need to host seminars. You don't need to write books. You don't need to become a blogger or go build websites and stuff like that. You don't need to like become a social media influencer. I mean, you don't need to do any of that annoying stuff that's just a waste of time and become a slave to your computer. You can just follow a proven system that I'm sharing only because I'm coming out of retirement and I'm looking to build even more success stories because it's just fun for me. Again, whether you enroll today or not, it doesn't change anything for me, really. It doesn't change anything for me. I'll keep making money. Whether you enroll or not, I'll keep making money. But will you? Like, you could even try and do this on your own, which that would be actually really, really cool for you to do. I really hope that I at least inspired you to go and attempt to do e-farming. But question is, will you do it on your own faster than if you were to do it with me, than if you were to use all of my secrets and strategies and shortcuts? Do you really think you'd be saving that much? Chances are you'd be spending a lot more time and money if you were to try and do everything on your own. Right, so let's see if I have some questions. So how much can you sell the e-farm for? Well, I would argue that you can probably sell your e-farm based on size. So like a 10,000 e-farm, depending on also the niche market that it's in, because it could be like in the weight loss space or financial space. So it would basically be priced per email address. So it could be, depending on the space, it could be as little as 50 cents per email address, but it could also be as much as $10 per email address. So if you build a, say, like a 100,000 e-farm, right, and you get, say, $5 per email address, then there you go. That's $500,000. And of course, don't forget that while you were building it, right, you were also getting paid because e-farms are really profitable, and hence why other people would want to buy them from you, right? Right. So somebody says, I want this, but I'm unable to pay via credit card. Is there any other way I could pay you? I'm not sure. No, I guess not. I mean, you can mail me a check, but you will not be able to do it in time for this special offer, and it wouldn't be fair to people who act on the webinar. So I guess no. But let's see. Maybe we can offer you a PayPal option. So check out the chat and see if that works for you. How much do you have to pay to get lists to build the e-farm? Right, so this is actually very, very cool, because oftentimes you can find bargains and you can get away with getting like thousands of email addresses into your e-farm for like a couple of $100, which is nothing, because a couple of thousand email addresses on your e-farm can truly make you a couple of thousand per month. So the other beauty of this is that an email address is an asset, right? So if you've got 1,000 e-farm, 1,000 email address e-farm, then it's not like you're only going to make money once. You're actually going to be making money from each email address multiple times, and it will average out to some kind of number per month. For example, for me, on one of my e-farms, I'm averaging out somewhere in the range of between $22 and $27 per email address per month. Okay, per email address per month, which means I'll make money this month, I'll make money next month, I'll make money month after next, and so on and so forth. So even if it costs me $1 to put an email address onto my e-farm, guess what? I don't really care, because I'll be making another $1 this month and another $1 next month and another $1 the next. And so as far as I'm concerned, this is kind of like real estate, only without the outrageous prices. So if I buy a house for $500,000 and I get rent from my tenant for, say, $3,000 per month, right? That's real estate. But with e-farming, Like I can actually build me an e-farm of 1,000, the size of 1,000, right? 1,000 email address e-farm for, let's say, I don't know, $500. But then that e-farm starts producing for me 500, 700, 800, 900 per month. So would I pay 500 one time to make 800 per month moving forward? Yeah. In fact, I'd be borrowing money like crazy to go and to get me as many of these e-farms and as many email addresses onto my e-farm as I possibly can.
So, yeah, right. So somebody in the chat is asking about a payment plan. So good news, guys. Great news for those of you who need a payment plan, is that yes, we do offer a payment plan, and we offer a pretty generous payment plan. In my humble yet accurate opinion, it's 3 payments of $397, and you can pay either by credit card or through PayPal. So all you have to do is just go to the link you're seeing on screen, and you will have a gray button that says switch to 3 payments of $397. So you can just click on that button and it'll take you to a page where you can submit using a payment plan, and you still get all the fast action bonuses.
Next question: are there certain niches that work best for this? That's a good question. Some niches work better than others, but really it depends on the offers on the done for you income streams you're choosing to promote. But yeah, in terms of like where the most money is being made, there's like about a dozen or so niches where you can go, which of course I share inside my system. So if you'd like to know these, you can go ahead and enroll right now. Kind of like Eugene, who is now clearing 5 figures in 2 weeks with his e-farming business, or like MLS, who's now making 10, 20, and even $30,000 per month with e-farming. And like Justin here, who actually used to be a sales guy for AT&T, but was on the verge of losing his home, believe it or not, after his mother passed away. And he was able to use e-farming to turn things around and to actually save the house from foreclosure, and then go and travel 12 countries in 12 months until he finally settled down in Turkey, where he met a girl that he ended up marrying. So that's a pretty crazy story. Or Jason here, which is a great example of how you can do e-farming part-time, because he's a full-time truck driver. So he scaled to $1,000 a week, okay, while driving a truck, which is pretty cool. Or Justin here, who went on to $15,000 per month in profit after just 6 months of following my e-farming system. Or Corey here, who actually went on to $20,000 per month with e-farming as well. So again, as you can see, there's so many success stories, and again, the only way you don't make money is if you don't take action, period. And you have exactly 7 minutes to take action and to be within the first 10 people who take advantage of the fast action bonuses as well, which, trust me, you want to have these. You really want to have these because they will make your life a lot easier. Kiara here says that she recommends anyone who wants to get into e-farming to work with me because I'm second to none. And Chris says that my training program has made him more in a single week than all the other things he ever tried online collectively. Okay. And Daz here, who went on to grow his online business by leaps and bounds, again, as a result of going through my system. And Ahmed, who's also a student, but this time from Egypt, who says that working with me was the best decision he ever made in his life. Another great, interesting story is Igor. So Igor is he's pretty much, I don't know what he was doing for a living when I met him, but he's kind of like bumming around really. And he's from Croatia, and he was able to take this to $3,000 per month. The guy doesn't even speak English properly. Again, doesn't really have any special education, nothing. So if a guy like that can make it, why can't you? I think you can. I think anyone can. If Daniel was able to do it, making $2,500 per month for the first time in his life, and if this couple from Philadelphia, Igor and Alina, were able to take this to $7,000 per month, doing this together, again, I think that's pretty cool. This is another incredible success story. Chrissy from California, she went on to build a 9.9 thousand e-farm and making thousands of dollars every single week in passive income while recovering from depression. And as she was building her e-farming business, her husband Randy got laid off from his job, and then she became the full-time breadwinner for the family. So it literally saved their lives because her husband went on disability or couldn't work or there was an accident or something. So, I mean, she became the breadwinner and she's paying the bills with e-farming full time. How many people can say that online? How many people can say that they're like paying for their day-to-day expenses 100% with internet money? There's not too many people like that, are they? And there's a reason, because most stuff you see online is crap. It's junk. It's BS. So you got 4 minutes and 20 seconds to make up your mind to enroll in my e-farming system. This is it. This is your last chance to do it, guys. The last chance to do it. If you want for me to show you how to make money with e-farming, this is it. This is your last chance. Because what I'm doing here is this. Like, think about it this way: your success online, you want to be making money online, um that's like an apple tree, right? So you want to reach for the apple, the juicy apple, but you don't have a ladder. It's not like the apple isn't there. It's there. The tree is there, but it's really really high. You need a ladder to climb it to get the apples. I'm giving you my ladder, the ladder I spent some time building and figuring out and optimizing. So now you can just take my ladder and climb that tree much faster. That's what this is about. That's how I want you to think about it right now. And if you're thinking, yeah, Igor, but 997, I can't afford it, or I can't afford it, but I don't want to afford it, right? It's just a lot. Well, think about it this way. Don't think about it as what you're spending or what it's going to cost you. Think about it, what it's going to cost you relative to how much you're going to be making. Because as you've seen me present here, 997 is something I make in my sleep. 997 is something that I can make an hour with my e-farming business. So 97 one time to be able to do something like that is really nothing. I mean, if you ask Chrissy that you're seeing on screen and you ask her, hey, Chrissy, are you happy that you paid Igor 997 for him to show you his e-farming system now that you're making thousands of dollars a week? Of course she's gonna say, yes, I'm happy. But was she scared or, uncertain before she enrolled? Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, to give you the peace of mind, I'm giving you my success guarantee. Either you build yourself a thriving, profitable e-farm by following my system in the next 30 days, or I'll buy it back from you. I'll go make money with it myself. And you get off the hook, you walk away, no harm. All you lost was 30 minutes per day. That's it. That's all you lost, which is nothing really. I mean, there's 1,440, I think, minutes in a day. You really can't spare 30 to go and make thousands of dollars a week. No, of course you can. So really, I mean, an e-farm, just like for a regular farmer for whom his fields and trees and they're like a reoccurring source of wealth, right? So every year the farmer has a harvest. Well, for us, for e-farmers, the harvest is every day. I send out e-letters to my e-farm every single day, and every day is harvest time. Every day is harvest time. Every day I get money. That's how e-farming is different from farming. Look, the way you wake up to almost $200 like Daniel here is if you have an asset like an e-farm. As simple as that. The way you get to making $100 a day like Brian here is if you have an asset that can make you that, not by working harder or getting another job. It's as simple as that. And you have 30 seconds now to decide to enroll at this special price and get these bonuses. And then it's gone, guys. And it's for real. It's not some bullshit scarcity, then it's gone. Okay, so right now, all you have to think about it is this. You can either try and do it yourself, or if this gets you closer to your goal of making, say, $10,000 per month by even as little as 90 days faster than you were to try and do it on your own, is it still worth it? Or maybe even 60 days, or maybe even 30 days. What if this gets you to your goal of $10,000 per month by 30 days faster than if you were to try and figure things out on your own? Would it still be worth it? Yeah, of course it would be. It will be worth it because it makes you an extra 9 grand, right? So this is it, guys. Take it or leave it. You know what to do.
Your last chance to go to igor.top/efarming right now and enroll into my e-farming system.
And those of you who did enroll, I congratulate you and I can't wait to get started with you. And those of you who didn't, then I'm sorry, but you missed out. That much I can tell you. So this is Igor. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And until next time we chat, have a good one.